And we're live.
Oh, not yet.
And we're live.
Mm, I don't see the live button yet. Alyssa, I am going to take your word for it that we are live. So, hi everyone. This is Cindy Oser. I'm a librarian over at Hobby Memorial Library, and I have with me today Wendy Martell. She is with Foundations Department, and she is the one who handles all of the scholarships. And we also have Alyssa Maciel. She is the one who's live streaming today. So, welcome. You have found the scholarship workshop. We're going to be giving you some information on how to use the scholarship application, how to have tips and tricks on how to do it, and hopefully we will help you out. You can ask your questions in the comment section, and we will get it to Wendy. And again, Alyssa, I still do not see the the live button, but let's hope let's hope it's working. So, all right. So, Wendy, are you able to see
Mhm.
the PowerPoint? All right,
Yes,
we're good.
ma'am.
We're good. All righty. Well, there we go. All right. So, what are some of these reasons why you're applying for scholarship? Well, everybody needs money. Seriously, everybody needs money. And there are scholarships ranging from $200 to $10,000. This is going to pay for your books, your tuition, uniforms for culinary, nursing, or whatever. So it does not make sense to not go for a scholarship. The money is there. Um, if you are not currently a CTC student, you can still apply in the same year. Like you're not going to start until the fall. Definitely go ahead and apply in January and February. You may use your personal email. This is something that's a little different. You can use it, but then once you apply at the college, make sure to, when you get your email, that you can forward your email to your regular personal email. But you're going to definitely need a way to be contacted, because Wendy has told me that people have lost a lot of their scholarships just by not checking their email. So you're going to make sure you have that. And I'm going to show you in a minute, our website of where you can do everything. Um, if you are a current student, you use your Eagle Mail to register, and we'll go over where you can find it. If you plan on coming to CTC, you're going to be applying for admission to CTC within the year of your scholarship application. So, and I'm going to show you where on our website in a minute that you find all this. Once you apply, you're going to get that Eagle Mail and you confirm your Eagle Mail. So these will be the steps that will help your scholarship application process go a bit quicker. You're also going to complete a FAFSA application in financial aid. Some of the scholarships do not have a need for FAFSA, but a lot of them, and probably most of them, do. Therefore, it's a good idea to go ahead and just get that filled out. And then you're going to go to the scholarship page, and you're going to hit scholarships. And once there, you're going to be hitting the scholarship page. So let me go through all this process with you. So you're going to come to CTCD. You're going to hit students. Go on down to getting started.
Cindy,
Yes, ma'am.
all we see is a PowerPoint.
Oh, sorry, my bad. All right. Try again. That's why you get the big bucks. Okay, so let's go back.
There we go.
Okay, so we're going to go to CTCD. If you want to apply to the college, you go to getting started, and there's a list of, apply for admission. Um, if you are looking for foundations, oh my gosh. If you're looking for financial aid, I'm sorry. Let's go back. Student tools. Oh my gosh. I don't remember where I found financial aid.
Current students, current,
Current students. Thank you.
straight down.
Financial aid. Oh my gosh. What is the deal? Financial aid. That's where you find our financial aid. If you go all the way down to the financial aid, there's your FAFSA right there. So this can all be found from our website. Now, for the foundations and the scholarships, all right. Now, this is what happens when I pin everything. I forget where I found it. Where is it
Student,
up here? Students,
students, and
okay.
then go down to the fourth one.
Scholarships, yes. Scholarships. All right. So once you, if you're not a student yet, just go directly to the scholarships page and you're going to go ahead and apply for your scholarship. But you must be a student in that school that year. That if you are a current student, um, you can go through with the current student, and or if you plan on being a student first before applying, you apply to the college and you fill out the FAFSA. All right, so we're on the foundations page. We're on scholarships, and our new scholarship company is Award Spring. So you're going to go here and you're going to click on Award Spring. And then you're going to go ahead and get this page. If you have not set up your account, you're going to go ahead and set your password right here. I went ahead and set my account. And so now, oh, after you set your password, go to the email that you put in. If it was your Eagle Mail, go to your Eagle Mail and verify. If it is your personal email, go to your personal email and verify.
And that'll have to be done before you can log into the site.
Yes, yes. And once that has been verified, then you're going to go ahead and uh, get in. If you're looking for what scholarships are available, here's a list. Just hit scholarships. And as you can see, there are a lot of scholarships. And it would be a good idea to maybe look at some of them. But what's going to happen, this is a nifty new feature about the scholarship site, is the things that you answer in your questions is going to pull up all of the scholarships that you qualify for. So that is going to be already what was done. Um, so you start the application. You're going to fill all of your general information out. Do not leave anything blank at all. Um, if it doesn't apply to them, is capital N slash capital A work also?
That will work. Yes.
Okay. If you don't fill out every section, you'll be kicked out of it and you won't get it. So you're going to go in that first page, which is personal information. The next one is academic. If you have a question and you don't quite understand the question, then we'll put Wendy's email in the comment section, and if you wouldn't mind putting that in chat for Alyssa, that way, and it's okay, right? We've
Oh,
done this
yeah.
in the past. Okay. Um, then or you can call the foundation's office and they will help you with this. You need to make sure that you've got all of these answered because there are very specific questions this time. And those specific questions are the ones that are going to pull up all of your scholarships. Like this one. Um, what about the CTC nursing program? Well, that will pull up the ones that pertain to that degree. Um, what about secondary? Where are you going to go? That's going to pull up other degrees. And so they're looking at your degree plan and what you plan on doing at CTC, and that's what's going to be what's going to bring up your scholarships. So, and the next step is the same thing. You have very specific questions, and those specific questions are going to allow the algorithm to go ahead and pull out what is pertaining to you. So now, when we do the scholarships, and we'll talk about that, there are ways to improve your chances of getting more scholarships. But before that, does anybody have any questions about this application? Alyssa? If you do, put it in the comments and Alyssa will let us know. Okay, and also I want to show you one more thing. At the very end, you've got an essay. And we're going to talk a lot about the essay and we're going to talk a lot about your answers. Um, there is no minimum length, but there is a maximum length. So we're going to talk about, how to write this essay and get the most out of your 500 words. Okay? All right. So I'm going to stop sharing a minute and I'm going to go back to, well, I guess I have to move this over here. Sharing the PowerPoint again. So we see the PowerPoint?
Good to go.
Good to go. All right. So we've gone through the actual site. We showed it to you. Um, make sure you confirm everything you send, and we're going to be ready to complete the application. This there's only one application you need to fill out. CTC Foundations does this amazing thing for you. If you were on your own doing scholarships, you would have to fill out an application for every scholarship. But what CTC does is it compiles everything into one application. That's why it's going to be very important for you to answer your questions um, in very specific ways. You need to mention your interests, your degree plan, what you plan to pursue, because all of those words will help to pull up what what you qualify for. And you can update your application until it closes. And what is the closing date? When
February 28th.
February
February
20.
28th at midnight.
Okay. And is that on the foundation's page or somewhere the
I don't know if
deadline?
the time is on there, but the date is on there.
All right. All right. So you need to get working now on getting that scholarship done. Okay. Um, your answers and your essay are scored. So it's the point system. There's a couple of things. Your degree plan will connect you to a scholarship, but certain other things will give you points. Are you in a nursing? Then you'll get more points in that nursing scholarship. Did you win another scholarship? Have you won it in previous semesters? Do those continue to give you points, or has that changed with the new
Yes,
upgrade?
yes.
That is
Um,
still
i- if you have a previously awarded scholarship through CTC, there's a section on this application where you can list those scholarships. Um, those are then physically, we go in and I physically pull those up and look to see if you still meet the qualifications for those and put you in for those.
Okay. And then you may want to look through some of the scholarships. Just open the scholarship and read the description because I know, like with the library scholarship, one of the stipulations is you had to have attended a library event and or got involved in byways. So there are sometimes there's something specific. So it might jog your memory. Hey, if I'm not in byways, or I have not gone to any library events, I need to start registering for library events and go into them in order to become qualified. So there are those with each one as well. Um, Wendy, will these actual scholarships that they qualify for, will that pull up as a list for them? So they
They'll
don't
be
have
able
to
to see
read 700?
they'll be able to see after they've completed the application what scholarships they have qualified for.
Okay. All right. Again, guys, you'll never find another easier thing here. So we've gone through how to find it and the scholarship list, how to fill them out. And now we're going to talk about writing your answers on the application and the essay. So far, is there any questions before we get into this? Do you have the chat open?
I have it open. There's no questions.
No questions. All righty. So let's keep going. Um, Make sure you answer all of the questions. Don't leave any blanks. That's just a gimme. You know, we now have technology. Technology is not going to go forward if you don't fill out everything, and it's going to go. Sorry, you got to finish this. So make sure you do that. When you are writing in this essay section, do not put your name anywhere in there. These essays are read by Wendy and foundation staff and N the student does not it should not be identified. It's complete the
Everything's done
integrity.
anonymously.
Yes,
Yes.
the integrity of this is that they need to not know who wrote this. Therefore, do not put your name on it. Even though we stress this all the time, people continue to put their names on it. Please do not, because y you help out with the integrity of this, okay? Also, as you're filling this out, don't just, write all the answers and write the essay and put it in there and hit go. Before you, a good rule of thumb is to look at all the questions, maybe open a Word document, answer everything in a Word document, have somebody look at the Word document, to check your grammar, to check that you sound professional, you sound like somebody who is a scholarship person. The library looks over stuff, the academic studio looks over stuff. Check your work before hitting go, and because if they're reading your essay or they're reading your answers and you have incomplete sentences, run-on sentences, your grammar is all messed up, that says that you're not serious about the scholarship, and your application will be put to the side and somebody who can write a complete sentence will be in the running. Um, that's with everything, but definitely check your work with this. Um, Make sure your answers pertain to your questions. If it's a question about, did you take a nursing class? Then don't go off on a tangent about, I did, you know, in Boy Scouts, I built fires. Well, in Boy Scouts, did you save someone? The saving part would be the information you need to put in. So don't go on different tangents. Make sure you are answering the question that is asked. Now, is there can they write more than one sentence in those answers in the application part, Wendy?
Almost I can't think of any off the top of my head that are not um a selection. So the answers are already there. Yes, no, or a
Okay.
specific something. It's a radio button. So um the only thing that's really red per se is the essay.
Okay.
Everything else is used for qualifying the scholarships for or the applicants for the scholarships. But
Okay.
that essay is key. It makes some it's a lot of decisions are made by that essay.
Okay. All righty. So make sure that because they do have specific questions on the essay. The question on the essay is describe your financial needs, scholastic achievements, volunteerism, and motivation to achieve educational goals. Um, those are specific questions. And so when you are doing um, the essay doesn't mean give us 4 sentences in that answer. There's still, you've got 500 words to talk about it. You can talk about your financial need or what you've done or, how you've overcome something in life and you fixed it. You're focused on this, why you're focused on that. You've got 500 words to expound on those questions. So make the best of your essay. Okay. Definitely make sure that you put in like what you plan on doing with your degree. Everybody needs money. We don't want to know you need money. Everybody needs money. So you don't need to say I need money. I'm in school because my parents told me I had to be in school and get money. Okay. Again, put yourself in, walk in the shoes of the person who's going to read your essay. Also, and this happens a lot, like with sometimes military or there's different acronyms for different things. Don't assume that the reader knows what that an acronym is, or that military slang, or this slang, or that slang. Spell it out. Don't use an acronym unless you're going to use it a couple of times. Then say what it is first, put it in parentheses, the acronym, and then you can use the acronym after that. Always put yourself in the reader's shoes, and the reader will appreciate that. Right, Wendy?
Yes, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yes. Also, don't use slang, don't use cliches. Your reader may not know what the slang means or the cliche means. Also, generalizations. I did well and I work hard. That tells the reader nothing. We need to specifically know, well, what did you do? Give examples of it. And that will help your reader to get a better picture because what you're doing is you're doing a commercial for yourself. You're basically marketing, I'm the best candidate for your scholarship. Therefore, you need to prove it with facts. So, also make sure you tell the right you, you tell it with facts and not made up stuff of what you really wanted to be. It's got to be really true. Before you turn that essay in, and even before uh, you think that your essay is ready, um, make sure, read it out loud. Give it to people to read. Listen to what they say. Because if they say this sounds like you're just complaining, but you're not giving any how you overcame it, all they're going to hear is a list of complaints. And so listen to when people give you suggestions because that will make a better essay. Um, Also, your grammar. Make sure that you either run it through Grammarly or you give it to somebody who has Grammarly to run it through there. Because where you put your commas, where you put your periods and all that, you are going to be the representative of a scholarship. And they do not want you to be writing incomplete sentences, not putting your commas in the right place. You're going to be their representative. So you have to impress them with everything. Um, it's not a data dump. What a data dump is that you're going to do like you do in 1301, English 1301. You're going to get facts and you're going to cite the facts and you're going to whatever. And it's going to just be a research paper. Remember, essay is about you. And since it is about you, you are the expert on you. Therefore, make sure that you are writing about what you know, what you've accomplished, what you've done. If you do want to talk about something and you think your reader's not going to know about it, and you want to take some of that 500 word limit and quickly throw in a fact, you can do that. Make sure you cite it where you got it from because that isn't your fact, it's someone else's fact. You certainly can do that, but it is not a research paper. It is, hey, this is me and I want you to get to know me. Okay. Um, Wed says prepare for the essay. Prepare for the essay now is look at what they want you to put in there. Make sure you have that. Um, it used to be not quite so structured. Now it's structured more. So you need to get in there and answer those questions, but answer them as John Smith. What is John Smith going to do? What's his motivation to achieve his educational goal? So again, a suggestion would be to not write the paper in this little box, to write it on a piece of paper or Word document, and then fix it all up and then pop it in. That just would be a lot better, just in case you don't want to accidentally hit send before it's done. So also, what you're passionate about. If you have a topic that you're really passionate about, it's going to come through in your writing. If you're really passionate and very proud of the fact that you've overcame something, and that's what gave you the incentive to come to college and go to school, you need to write about that. Don't sound automatic. Be you. Because if you're passionate about something, it'll come through, and your reader will feel passionate about it as well. Um, Again, use examples, use details, don't do generalizations. Um, and don't knock yourself, guys. Be proud of the fact that you're going to college. You're going to do well. Be proud of the fact that you bothered to fill out an application for a scholarship and an application to college. And so don't knock yourself in this. There's no reason why you have to. Like in this example, uh if you're talking about band and school, don't say, um, I'm glad they let me in because I'm terrible at playing music. Just say that you're very glad they let you in. Don't knock yourself because then they're going to knock you. They're going to go, oh, well, this person doesn't believe in his or herself. Also, be grateful, be thankful. I mean, if that's your personality, if your personality is complaining all the time, it's going to come through in your stuff. So maybe you need to think about how you're coming across. Because somebody, a sponsor, a donor of a scholarship is giving you money. And then in and of itself, they're helping you go to college, which, a natural thing would be to be grateful about it. Or if your parents are helped you, or if a manager at a store has given you suggestions, be grateful about that. Nobody is entitled to this. It is a privilege. Therefore, be humble and be grateful that they are going to give this to you. This all comes through when you write, I guarantee. Um, Again, it's not a contest of who has the saddest stories. It's all about who you are, what's happened, you've overcome it, this is what you plan on doing, and you're not going to give up and you're not going to quit on the first English paper you write. And, that's basically, they're just looking for people who are going to take this money and do something with their lives. Um, be strong, be confident, make sure you don't leave anything out. That's why it's a good idea to write it in a Word document first, because if you're looking through it, you can go, hey, I forgot to put in that I was in military service, or I forgot to put in that I did a mission trip, so make sure you get all that in there. Um, After you have applied, make sure you monitor your email, either your Eagle Mail if you've got it, or your personal. Again, if you set up Eagle Mail, set it up where it transfers to your personal email so you don't miss that email, because if you miss it, you only have a certain amount of time to get it. And at that point, you lose it and it goes to somebody else. So essential, essential. Also, even if you're not awarded, um, write a thank you letter. The only reason why is because the foundation's office goes to great lengths to give you money for school, and it's good practice. And maybe next year, we're not saying, it's suck up time. That's not what we're saying. We're saying just generally, you go to a job interview, you send a thank you note for getting interview. Get in the habit. Get in the habit of always saying thank you, and it's a really great habit, and especially with the foundation's office. So, and okay, I'm gonna just. Anybody have any questions before I go on to something else really quick? Alyssa, any questions? Nope. Okay. All right. CTC has this amazing scholarship thing. If you insist on looking for your own scholarship, or you decide that, I'm going to do something else besides CTC, you have to do a little bit more work for your scholarship award. You have to become a very detailed reader. What you're going to do is, if you Google scholarships, which truly we do not encourage that. I mean, there are yearly scholarship programs. CTC, anybody can help you with finding scholarships. There are scholarship books in libraries. Make sure you go to edu or .gov if you're looking for legit scholarships. So if you start looking for them, these are the things you're going to have to be looking for in those scholarships. You're going to have to read their mission, the company's mission statement. You have to see if you connect with your mission and goals in life with their mission statement, because they're looking for somebody to put on show. Here's the scholarship uh, recipient, which in their eyes is saying, this person is just like us. And so you have to read the mission statement of each company that is offering a scholarship. Um, Look, in this one, I've highlighted creative minds and innovative technologies. So they're looking for somebody who is that. If you're somebody who has to do everything by the book every 2 seconds and you don't like to create, then don't go for the Disney one. Okay. You have to match who you are with who they are. Um, Look at not only their mission statement, but their values. Look around on their website. Read about us. If it's three guys standing on the top of a mountain in jean shorts, that's a totally different kind of company than guys sitting there or women sitting there with suits going, we have been doing this for the last 150 years and we will continue to do it. They're not looking for innovative. So you have to know who you're asking money from. And it's usually, it's in their website somewhere. All right. Also make sure, like, look at this. Everybody sees 10,000, but they're not looking at the fine print. The fine print on this one is you must have a GPA of 3.0. You must demonstrate financial need. If you don't have that, they're going to throw you out. So you must look specific. Pepsi, 10,000, but you have to go to a specific college. You have to be active in community. You have to have good communication skills. All right, it'll look like this. When you open it, it's just going to be one big blur of words. But did you know you have to graduate from one specific high school? You have to be enrolled in one specific degree program, and your school must nominate you. Don't waste your time. That's why CTC's foundation office is great, because you don't have to look all this stuff. They got it all covered, and it's so much easier. Also, again, there's ebooks, there's updated scholarship books in the databases of our library. You can find the latest. If you insist on doing it on your own, the easiest way to do it is through CTC's foundation office. Some of the questions, is my high schooler eligible? Okay, Wendy, let's go with this because I don't know if we looked at this page. Things have changed. So do you want to, is it still, they must be eligible for FAFSA? or is that
Correct.
changed?
No,
That's
that's still
still
the same. Mhm.
okay. And the scholarship is open January 15th to February 29th. Is that the same?
Yes, ma'am.
And they're offered in April, May.
We'll be offering in April, where right now we have our award ceremony to be is scheduled for May 5th. So all awards will need to be accepted by that time, if they're going to be awarded at the ceremony.
Okay. All righty. And the requirements. Y- all or most for a GPA of 2.0 and a minimum of 3 credit hours. Do you know?
All are going to require a minimum of 2.0.
Okay.
There are a few scholarships that are going to be requiring. I know we have one that's a 3.5. We have one that's a 3. So there are a few in there that require a little bit more GPA, higher GPAs, and there are some that require a set amount of semester hours per semester. For example, I have one that requires 15 hours a semester. We have several that require 12 hours. Some of them are 6 hours, but the minimum that for the any of ours are is 3 hours.
Okay. All righty. And the other requirements, like as I spoke about the library scholarship, um, you will read it. When you get that list that you qualify for, take the time to open them and see if there's something else specific that you need to do, as
If
with the
there's a
library.
if there's
Hmm.
a supplemental question that's attached to a specific scholarship, then the system will ask you that question. So it'll tell you that
Awesome.
you've got another question that needs to be answered. So answer
Awesome.
that question, and then it'll put you into the mix for it.
Okay, guys, they literally done the work for you with this new system. And so make sure that you get on ball with this. If you want to see a copy of this presentation, you can go ahead and email reference request, or you can text or chat the library. We will send it to you. Wendy has a copy of it. She can send you a copy of it, but it's very simplified this time, guys. And if you do have any questions, make sure that you call the foundation's office. Don't not do the scholarship just because you have a question and you don't have an answer for it because you've got enough time.
And make
So,
sure you're calling the right number. If you're calling, I get lots of calls for financial aid. They see the F and they automatically assume F financial aid. So make sure you're calling the right area. A lot of times you leave a message somewhere and nobody knows what the message means or who it's for, so it goes unanswered. Make sure
yeah.
if you don't get an answer right away, I say right away within a couple of days, email us. My email address is on there. It's on the website for the CTC website for the foundation as well. So I monitor 5 different emails that are all related to stuff in the foundation. So there's more than one way to get in touch with us.
And guys, the library even gets this too. When you send an email to any department, please explain what you're needing because we even get emails going, help. And we look at these emails and go, or text, and it's like, do I need to call 911? What's happening?
And if you can
So
include your email address or not your email address, your student ID number, that helps if there's something we need to look up and before we contact you to see if there's something we can help with.
yeah, so give us as much information as you possibly can. Remember that the foundation's office, library, all the departments are here to help you with this. We want you to apply for these scholarships because this is how you can go to college, and not have such a financial strain on books and tuition and stuff like that. So, Wendy, did you have any other suggestions for them or anything
No.
about this?
If you have a question, just call. That's the biggest thing. We have about around $600,000 that we're going to be giving out for the coming fall semester and spring semester. So there's money out there to be had. We just need you to apply for it so that we can get it to you.
Okay. And I just noticed that the live button was on, but the live button was not on when she told me to go. So, gee, I don't know when that live button started. So, if this workshop starts, which seems to be in the middle, then email Wendy or go to the library's YouTube page and look up the very last scholarship workshop virtual event that we did. And we covered the award spring in that one as well. But let us know where we started if it if we didn't live stream this whole thing, and we will get it going. So and I guess we'll find out when we stop the live stream. So thank you guys. Tomorrow is our night sky tour with CTC astronomer Warren Hart. We're going to be going over what constellations you can see in February. He is so much fun because he absolutely loves what he does. And so if you've got time, it starts at noon here at the library website. Okay. Well, thank you and everybody. Like I said, if we didn't get this whole workshop in, we'll figure out a way to get the other part in. So thank you and have a great day.